Well, hello. This is day whatever. What is today? 7, 8, 9. I think it's day 9. It's a Tuesday of the second week. And I got some little bit of interesting information. And I've already gone every morning at 9:20 is when I do my radiation. And like I said, it's been an ordeal trying to make sure I got enough water at the right time and I drink it the right time before, and then I hold it and I can, be there, and then I take a leak and leave. Well, today I got to meet with the nurse because I was complaining about the pain yesterday. They were concerned. But anyway, the nurse was. In fact, he came to the meeting with these Eucerin or Aquaphor, some sort of anyways, it's like Vaseline, petroleum jelly is really what it is. And she said that's basically the best thing because I've got like a sunburn. I mean, I'm getting a radiation burn, but it's this thing instead of the sun. So I've got like a sunburn on my butt, all around my anus. It's the skin is actually burned. I mean, I'm hurting inside because I got the pain inside, and I got the pain on the outside, on the skin too. She said maybe even refrigerate them. I'll feel a little better when I put them on. So anyway, it looks like the chemotherapy isn't going to be so bad. Presumably, it won't get any worse. Presumably, and but the radiation will. And the radiation, I'm in my second week, and I'm already going a little beyond discomfort. But anyway, there's the radiation thing and the chemo. My overall health, I'm still pretty active. The nurse said that I should feel maybe less sluggish because she said the radiation is zapping all my bone marrow, killing all my red blood production. Or at least not all of it, but I guess a substantial portion of it. I guess because they're doing all my hip bones. So anyway, I'm missing some red blood cells. That's another reason I think I'm taking the weekly blood tests, is so they can check my blood counts. Make sure the whites don't go up and I don't become infected or something too, since I don't have much of a... Actually, it kills my white blood cells too, so actually I don't have a defense mechanism. Anyway, I don't know. I'm discovering. I'll give you more information as I go. But my overall health is basically pretty good, except for the discomfort and finding places to sit where I'm not putting pressure on places that hurt. Still not doing much in terms of the Tai Chi and Kung Fu. In fact, she was talking about zapping my ligaments and my bones and stuff. So it's making me a little less motivated to push against the grain and try to work too hard because maybe I'll pop something. I'm going to keep exercises, but I'm not motivated to as I should be. I'm already trying to be more motivated, to be independently self-motivated to do more Kung Fu in my life. And I'm finding more excuses than reasons. So I'm going to I'll add a little bit more over the next few weeks of Kung Fu because I got to get these videos done. I haven't done a video since I think I started the chemo, maybe one video. So anyway, I'm supposed to be doing 3 a week. The trash can way over there sounds like my front door because I got a metal front door. It's like, they sound almost the same. Anyway, okay. But yesterday, I'm still not working on the album, but I did spend several hours. I've got 8 hours, I guess, to go in this first module. I'm in the Damien Keys. He's my music promotion guy. He's going to make me a star. Kung Fu Cowboy is going to be famous because of this guy. Well, he's helping me. It's going to be me. I'm going to do all the work, but he's giving me all the things that need to be done in a certain order. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to try to satisfy his requirements as if I was paying somebody else to do it, and then I just have to do all the work, but I follow his agenda. Let's see if I can be a star. So anyway, we're planning that Scorpion Resurrection, August 6th, with the end of my... Oh, and it turns out my nurse practitioner is actually a higher level than a nurse, I found out. She can write prescriptions and do things that a regular nurse can't. And anyway, so the nurse, it turns out she's a real music fan, and so she was excited to hear that I'm a concert person. And so she was excited to hear about the Scorpion Resurrection thing. Her name's Dari, I think. Okay. Let's see. So that was today. Anyway, so there you go. So there's my update on the chemo and all that type stuff. Yeah, in terms of the Kung Fu Cowboy, I'm really anxious to get back to that album, but I'm working on the videos. I've got this phone and I got a 4-hour Premiere Pro program. And I honestly think that by the time I'm done with this 4 hours, after watching an hour program here, an hour program there, a half an hour here, 15 minutes, all these things all put together, I think that at the end of this 4-hour program, I'm going to be ready to go with Adobe Premiere. And then it's just experience from there. Because I'm really getting a grasp of it, and I'm starting to anticipate what he's saying, and I know how to do things. And I say, oh, well, I do this. So I'm already getting a handle on it. So I'm excited to get through this 4 hours today. And see if anybody buys a Tai Chi class tonight. But they won't. So I'm not going to get a Tai Chi workout. Trying to practice my Ling Po, my Liang Bu a little bit. I'm teaching this form. It's really cool. It goes... And you come over here and go, all this while you're moving. It's like this. Anyway, that's the Kung Fu form I'm teaching in my videos right now. That comes down for a groin grab. And a rip. Then come up into the crane, you do a kick, come out. Boom! A lot of this. Boom! Big, huge hits like this, these big hammer hits. It's not boom, it's like, what's the strong? It's like a baseball pitch. But this thing's got all these hammer fists in it. Boom! You're hitting. So it's just like throwing my fist out there. So yeah, it's a great Kung Fu form. In fact, Dr. Cam Ewan told me when he was teaching it to me. I've been taught it by several people. In fact, later in the 90s, Wong Jack Man wanted to test me on that. He said, no, that's not going to do. So I had to relearn the entire form because Dr. Cam Ewan had made some changes. So Wong Jack Man, before he certified me in San Francisco, made me relearn the Liang Bu. And by doing that, I was able to get in the original moves and actually then get all of the Masonic Kung Fu. An accident, Dr. Cam Ewan had accidentally taken out some of the Masonic Kung Fu. So that might have messed me up. I might not have come to that epiphany and written the book and the audiobook called Masonic Kung Fu. Go get them, Masonic Kung Fu. Okay, anyway. The Tao of Taoism. I didn't get it ready for you. Well, there's the one that comes to my mind. Everybody knows this one. To know others is knowledge, and to know yourself is wisdom, something like that. So the point is that the more you know yourself, actually, the better you're able to understand other people. And the more you start to really understand other people, the more you can understand yourself, if not for the differences between the two of you. So understanding people, that's why none of my business and keeping your distance means that people are stupid. They're ignorant. They're just not appreciating this life. Remember, I'm still trying to figure out whether I'm going to come back again. No matter when I die, whether it's in a couple of months or a couple of years or hopefully 20 years, whenever that happens, do I want to come back to this world? I'm not entirely sure. I've been thinking about it. I think about it every day, to be honest with you now, because I thought I was going to die and I was getting kind of a panic. Well, I know I'm going to die. But I got kind of a panic and I reached out to my kids and I talked to them and I texted them and I called them and kind of warmed it up because they didn't call me to say, oh, you did, you got cancer. Nothing. So I called them, I talked to them, explained what's going on. And then that was like a couple of weeks before Father's Day, and then came Father's Day, and I thought, oh, good, now they'll call me, and they didn't call me on Father's Day. So, yeah, my own parents and brothers who should love me a lot less, I've given them a lot less love, like 1,000th of the love that I've given to my kids. They're more concerned about me than my kids are. So I gave my kids 1,000 times more love and attention and time, and they don't care if I die. So there's some things I'm still on. There's a couple of things that obviously I haven't worked out. I've worked out lots and lots of stuff in terms of souls and why my kids even have, I think I pretty much got a handle on why my kids have kind of disowned me. And that's because my daughter is overweight. And she knows that if she was my friend, she should be in Tai Chi Youth. She promised me she'd always be in Tai Chi. She promised me she'd teach classes. She should be doing Tai Chi Youth. She should be in great shape. But she doesn't want to be in great shape. She wants to be obese. So that's why we can't really be friends. So I can understand that one. My son, Rory, I don't know, he got pulled away and turned away by his grandpa. And he cussed at me, was really disrespectful when he was even in elementary school, maybe. I don't know. So he and I have never been able to have a really good father-son relationship since he was like 7 years old, maybe 7, 8. And when they took him away. But up until that time, we had a very close relationship. And he probably said, I love you every day to me. But no, since then, I don't know what he thinks of me, but he doesn't think anything interesting. And he doesn't want to talk to me. And he doesn't want to learn anything from me. And he doesn't want to do anything with me. So there you go. I just have to leave it at that. Today I had a stressful encounter. I'll leave you with this. I get this package, this big box, which I just took out, from Amazon. I'd ordered a garden hose, and it's 100 degrees today. This is a cool day. It's going to be 110s only. But anyway, so I thought that was it. I bring it in, I open this box up, and there's all this, there's tamales and Oreos and Ritz cracker, peanut butter snacks. It's like, and some tuna. And it's like, what the heck? What's all this stuff? I didn't order this. So I looked at the label. I looked at it. I checked a couple of times. I tried to figure it out. I finally figured out, well, I don't know where to put it. I can't give it to anybody. It's got my name on it. I don't know who it could have been. So I said, well, if they charge me for it, I'll pay for it. But I knew I didn't order it. So I just started putting everything away. I finally get to the bottom of the box. There's a little teeny piece of paper. In fact, maybe I should even show you how big it is, just to emphasize that, if I can get it. There's one right here at the top of the trash can. Here it is. This little piece of paper, along with about half a dozen receipts about the same size. That's it. And if you can see it, it says, this is a gift from David Connor. That's my brother. But that was it. This is the only way that I knew that was from him, and it was mixed in with some other receipts, so it wasn't even obvious. And then everything made sense. So then I called him up, left him a message, thank you, and then I called my other relatives. My dad knew it was coming, so my dad asked me about it. I said, yeah, I left him a message, I got it. But anyway, he sent me this, but I was all stressed out, thinking that I was stealing somebody's food, and just had to resign myself that, well, I'll accept it and pay for it if I have to. And in fact, I've already dug into it. He gave me a few cans of those canned tamales. And I was dreaming about tamales recently. Just a flat. I love tamales, especially the ones with the string beef in them. Anyway, he gave me a couple of cans of I couldn't even wait any longer. I ate lunch, and I said, I'm going to dessert. I'm going to have some tamales. I ate one, ate two. That should be enough. Well, there's 6 tamales in there. If I ate 3, that'll be half. So then I ate the third. There are 3 left in that can. But anyway, life is fun. And even if it does give you a pain in the butt, yeah, literally, that's my Tao. I am a pain in the butt. I'm a pain in the butt to a lot of people because I tell them the truth. I'm like Socrates. I'm the gadfly of society. I say the things that you're willing to ignore or that you're trying to hide or you don't want to face. I'm the kind of person who thinks, no, face them, fix it, get it done. It's like a flat tire. You don't drive around with that flat tire. Now, if it's just a really slow leak, and you just keep putting air in it, no, fix it, Don't let it just keep leaking slow, even if you just keep putting air in it before it goes flat. Why don't you fix it? So that's me. I'm the gadfly. Yeah, that's what Socrates called himself. But that's me. I bug people. I say things that people don't want to hear. Other people probably even know what I'm going to say and have probably thought it, but they're just too scared. They're scared because they have feelings. And they're afraid that the person's feelings will get hurt. And then, as if they really cared, that person's going to reciprocate and hurt their feelings. And then they would have their feelings hurt for trying to help somebody. Well, that's the price you got to pay. You got to hurt people's feelings to help them. A lot of people, because especially the stupid ones. The stupid ones live by their feelings, so they can't ration it out. They just got to react with their feelings. So you got to just let them have their feelings, and then you got to wait till they get past it, and then they can think about it. And in a day or two, they'll think of what a smart person would have thought in a matter of seconds, but they'll come around and realize that you were right. But if they're really stupid and they're stubborn too, then they'll even get in the way of their own logic and come up with ways to not do it or get back at it. I mean, people are so messed up. They're not messed up. They're just stupid. I mean, I've always expected too much. I'm a smart person, so I always expect everybody to be smart. To be honest with you. It's always surprising when people turn out to be stupid. It baffles me. I mean, that may sound weird to you, but it's true. My whole entire life. So I've spent my whole entire life cutting my sentences short because I change the words all the time. And to dumb them down. I'm always dumbing down. I've been doing it since the 70s. Since the early 70s, I started noticing that people were always complaining. I was using, stop talking with such big words. Oh, you think you're so smart, and people really resented my having higher level words or educational skills. They resent that. They don't like it. So I spent my whole life talking like a common person. And that's why I love doing poetry. It gives me a chance to expand out because my brain actually is capable of much more substantial dialogues. So I just can't find anybody to talk to. I haven't. All those years I was on the street, I mean, I hung out with much people, but I still couldn't really find anybody to talk to. And then when I finally did, which was Oscar, after about a year, he realized that he had expanded everything. He had realized that everything that he knew was kind of like a person who watched football games and knew how to watch the game. And then we got to say, okay, now let's make a strategy. Let's make a team. Let's have a goal and let's do it. And boom, that's when he was over his head. He loved strategy, just like a person might love watching football. When it came down to playing football, that's where he fell down, unfortunately. He expected too much of himself. I expected too much of him. But it wasn't too much. I mean, it was what you should expect, but he was not capable. And I heard this from a couple of business consultants. Richard Steele, I want to think. He was a really good one of those business consultants. But he said, no, Oscar's not a good partner. He's not going to do it. He could sense or tell, because he'd been in business so long, he could tell who's capable of strategy, I guess, and being good at business. But he said, no, he can't do it. He knew that right from the beginning when he saw him. So there are certain qualities. And so once again, that was before I came up with the soul thing. That was back in like 2015 or 16. And it wasn't until 17 that I started coming into the soul theory, 5 soul theory. So, but these are all factors. In fact, that was one of the factors, as he made me realize that Oscar was incapable of being a business manager because he did not have a business manager's soul. No matter how much he tried to learn business plans, and no matter how much he studied strategy, and how much he listened to the audio tapes of The Art of War, and the Green guy, Martin Green or something. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of neat things that he turned me on, which I appreciate. He could not get past the listening and get to the doing, the watching and doing the doing. He was just an armchair strategist, an armchair businessman. He couldn't get into it. So that was an interesting part of my realizing the limitations of people, especially when you really depend on them in a partnership. And I made him president of Tai Chi Youth too. He fell flat on that one too. But these were all things that, at least before he died, he was given so much more opportunities than he'd ever had in his whole life. He was going to meet all these poetry gigs and these concerts and meeting all these people and making friends. And when I first met him, all he would ever talk about was video games and these combat games and these shoots and these guns. And that was all he would talk about for the first year, and killing people. Really, it was really disgusting. And I kept saying, God, you got to stop doing that. You're frightening people. But after about a year and working in business and working with me and doing the kung fu and everything, he never talked about video games again. And he started relating to people and making friends wherever he went. He became very gregarious. And he developed some real social abilities, so that the last few years of his life were kind of like the pinnacle of his life in terms of social status and stuff. And he was really well respected and going around with me, my sidekick, people call it. But it was fun. And so I really kind of, as I look back, and I gosh, I made his past few years better than anybody else would have, could have. So I'm kind of happy about that. Anyway, where were I? Talking about the last few years. These aren't my last year. I need a few more. I'm thinking a few. I got so many books and things to publish. I need about 20 years, and I'll go peacefully. Okay? All right. See you later, Richard O'Connor, Kung Fu Cowboy, out of here.
It's my high school graduation. It's my high school graduation. 10 years pass like a trip on a boat, stuck in the middle of a root beer float. From job to job with a college degree, gotta keep working to pay for that degree. It's my high school 10-year reunion. It's my high school 10-year reunion. It's my high school 10-year reunion. Well, you know what it is. Spitting out babies for the big machine. Everybody's measured by their stack of green. I'm just taking pictures for a magazine. I shouldn't be embarrassed, I don't fit their scene. It's my high school 20-year reunion. It's my high school 20-year reunion. It's my high school 20-year reunion. Why did I try to ever fit in? Why did I try to ever give away my time in life? To be divorced with a second wife. Kids in high school don't really care whether their parents are losing their hair. It's my high school 30-year reunion. It's my high school 30-year